Hello there, and welcome to the In Our View podcast. And as always, I am joined by the Sith C. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you, Hayden. One. We've been doing alright, haven't we?
Yeah, we've been all good, all good.
I just wanted to say at the start of this, thank you very much for all of the help recently with subscribers. I think for both of us, actually. I've hit 170 subscribers, which is a huge milestone. I'm really excited. Just got to get to 200. I'm on the road to 200, so gotta help me out there, guys. Spread the word.
And I am on 83 subscribers, so I am still not even beyond the 100 mark, but
Get him there. Do
Yeah.
it. Do it now.
yeah, please, guys, please, otherwise my dog will go hungry and I won't be able to support them.
Poor dog. Poor dog.
Yeah, I've been saying this since the episode with Delana, and I haven't really had enough support. I mean, my dog's getting pretty skinny at this point.
Outrageous.
So yeah, please, if you could support me, that would be very much appreciated. I do try and vary my content, so I should appeal to quite a large audience.
Indeed.
So, what games have you been playing recently, the Sith C?
Well, the thing is, I spend a lot of my spare time at the minute now trying to catch up with TV shows, actually, because something that I'm known for, I think. Well, maybe I'm not known for it, but something that I'm very conscious of is that I've not watched a lot of big TV shows. I've not watched the big ones like Stranger Things. I've not watched all of Game of Thrones. I've not watched huge number of things that a lot of people think that you should. I've not watched Peaky Blinders.
Right.
So that's what I've been doing. But gaming wise, I've started playing Batman. I've started playing Arkham Asylum. Thank you very much for that birthday purchase. My birthday was on October the 10th, as
Yes.
was yours. We are twins, after all.
Yes, we are. I think that is a game that it's a game series, the Arkham Knight series. So the Batman Arkham games are games that both of us should have played by now, and so I thought let my brother play it first by buying it for him because he's very excited. You are very excited for the Batman.
Indeed, I am.
As am I. So I thought
It's got those Daredevil vibes. Love it.
yeah, so I thought that it would be a good, I guess, way to ease into the DC world and get hyped and excited for the Batman. So there you are. You're welcome.
Other than that, though, so I've literally only just started playing it, but other than that, I've been playing some more Star Wars Battlefront 2 for videos. I've been playing a bit of Among Us. Among Us is a good laugh.
Oh, we've had some good times on Among Us.
Yeah, pretty good.
I was only I think on the weekend I was in a match with the Founded Scarab and Walshy and a few others. So thank you, Joe, for organising that. That was really good fun. You can watch that on Joe's YouTube channel. That was really good. So thank you.
Oh, excellent. I'll go and check that out.
Yeah, I did kill Joe. I'm sorry, Joe.
Oh.
But I mean, he did get me earlier, so it was coming.
Yeah, awesome. And finally, on that matter, okay, a lead just fell. Oh, what was that? Okay.
This is a death trap.
Technical difficulties. And so, the last part of that, I've just literally started playing Jedi Knight Academy, so I'm very excited.
I haven't played Jedi Academy. I've tried so many times to play it, but every time the disc didn't work. Was that Jedi Knight? Either way.
It was Jedi Knight Academy, but
Yeah.
I've got the digital version now.
Yeah, I've never been able to get it to work. Is it good? Is it worthwhile playing?
I think so, yeah. I've literally only just started, but and I'm not used to the controls yet, but it's definitely a fun game.
I've heard a lot of positive reviews on the combat in Jedi Knight.
Yes,
Academy.
it's solid and it's unique, and you can it's not just limited to lightsabers. You can use all sorts of different weapons, and you can play as iconic characters. And there's also an amazing mod for the game, and it's called Movie Battles 2, and there's an online huge player base for it, and it adds every Star Wars character you could possibly think of, and it's insane. It's really, really, really good.
Okay, excellent.
Okay then, so what are you playing?
So for some videos that I made earlier, I was playing Assassin's Creed Origins again.
What a surprise!
Well, yeah, it was for the video that was using this discovery mode for taking photos, and I'd been feeling that I hadn't played Origins for a long time, and so it was really good to return to the game.
You hear that, folks? He says he hasn't played it for a long time.
That's true, I haven't. I haven't played it for a long time. I've been stuck playing rubbish like Syndicate.
Oh, big up Syndicate.
Why are you making weird comments? Why are you making weird comments?
Syndicate's a laugh.
No, but it's a bad game. It's a lazy game.
Chapter 7 is terrible, but...
You mean Sequence 7?
Sequence 7, same thing, isn't it? Really?
But you're really showing your lack of AC knowledge, my brother.
AC is interesting.
You sounded like Walshy there. You're like, AC.
Yeah.
I could probably do quite a good
AC is a
impression
cool
of
concept,
him.
but there's so many games, and it's like it's not my favourite type of game. I'd rather play other things personally, you know. So
Right.
it looks like great mythology. Don't get me wrong, but I'd rather play other stuff.
What else? I've also been playing Call of War, obviously. If you're watching my Let's Play, that's been really good fun. And today I was playing, and there's this guy that was in my coalition, and he's playing Syria, and he acts like a child. And it's stuff like when you're invading a country, he just complains about, oh, you took this province, I wanted that province. And when it's not even worth anything, it just adds maybe a few potential troops to call upon later, or just some rubbish like that. And so I made the decision to kick him out today, and then we just started invading him. And it's best to say that his reaction wasn't at all appropriate to repeat on this podcast.
I see.
Yeah, really good. And then I've also been playing Horizon Zero Dawn again, because I took a bit of a break from it. I don't know why, because it is a very good game.
Well, you're probably busy with other things.
Yeah, I think there was the pressure of making Assassin's Creed content, and I do want to make some Horizon Zero Dawn content as well, but I want to wait a bit until I'm further into the game before I make videos on it, because I want to have more of a knowledge on it. And I think that at this point, with it being a game that was made in 2017, I would feel a bit stupid making videos when I've just started the game. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, no, I understand that.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm definitely having a lot of fun doing it, and the world is beautiful. I don't think I've ever played a more visually stunning game on the PS4. It's like, I'm amazed the PS4 is capable of producing such a high. It is able to support such a high quality game. The only time you really see any graphical issues is sometimes in the hair, like sometimes the lighting effects mess the hair up a bit, but honestly, you should play it. It's really unique. And also, because it's going to be getting a sequel, and this is the first game, it's its own original IP. So this is the first of that
I
IP.
understand
You should
I understand.
definitely consider playing it.
The thing with games, it's time, isn't it? That's the problem.
Of course.
I mean, yeah, sure, I'd love to play all these different games. The problem is I need to prioritise which games I'd like to play, and although those games are great, I'd just rather play other games. So that's what I choose to do with my time.
Yeah, of course. You know, it's like you've already played obviously Spider-Man, and I'd love to play that game, but I've just had other games that I'd rather play.
You haven't even played Jedi Fallen Order.
I love how you phrased that. You haven't even played Jedi Fallen Order.
It's Star Wars. It's Star Wars. I mean, the thing is, Star Wars, it's on another level. It has. Star Wars is an event. Star Wars, there's a gravity to it. You know, it's sort of like, if you go and see a Marvel movie, it's great. It's a fun time. You're going to see a Marvel movie, but when you go and watch a Star Wars movie, it's an event. And I'm not saying Endgame's not an event. That was an event for sure, but you go and watch a Star Wars movie and you are pumped. Your adrenaline's high. You are going in for a proper experience. You know?
What, The Last Jedi was an experience, huh?
Well, it was an experience, but you understand what I'm saying, don't you?
Of course I do. Star Wars is special. I've got a very difficult relationship with Star Wars because obviously the majority of the films I love and I think they're really good, and obviously I know a lot about the mythology and the world of Star Wars, the universe. But then of course in recent years with Disney's acquisition of Lucasfilm, we've had some really great stuff come out of it, such as Rogue One. I really love Rogue One, and Rebels is very good. I've been really enjoying watching that.
You still need to complete that, don't you?
Yeah, but point being, there's some The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. They're lazy.
They're abysmal.
They're I don't know if lazy may be the wrong word. They're poorly constructed, terrible cash grabs, in my opinion.
They were not thought through.
Disney wanted to pump out a trilogy of films so that they could make back their money quickly from their acquisition of Lucasfilm. That is my opinion. And quality suffered as a result of that.
Okay. Let's not be careful. Let's be careful to not get too off course. I mean, I think that this leads quite nicely into our next part of our discussion, and that's what TV shows are you watching?
So I'm not actually watching any TV shows at the minute. I think the last thing I binge watched was the Karate Kid. Cobra Kai, which is a sequel TV series to the Karate Kids trilogy.
Cobra Kai is fantastic, and I am definitely going to make a video or some videos on it on my channel.
Yeah, same here. It's so good. We watched a lot of it together in the space of 3 or 4 days,
something like that.
Maybe less. We love it, and we can't wait for season 3.
Yeah, we're not going to spoil anything here, but fantastic.
Definitely worth a watch. And then I've also I've been watching Kick-Ass, which is quite a famous film that I haven't watched for reasons I don't know why. It's very good. What's the name of the guy that directed Kingsman?
Kingsman. Oh, what's his name?
Because it's him. That's the director.
He did Kingsman and X-Men First Class.
Yeah, it's him.
X-Men First Class director. Let me just search it up. Matthew Vaughn. Matthew Vaughn.
Matthew Vaughn.
Yes, he's amazing.
Yeah, so I've been watching that, and it's a very, very good film. You'll like it. You'll like it. There was one quite gruesome bit at the start, and it involved someone being put into what's basically a massive industrial microwave, which is horrific. But all of it, because there's so much comedy in it, as you'd expect from Matthew Vaughn. It's it makes it easier,
Yeah.
to deal with. But yeah, really good film, very clever film, very funny film. The characters are really good in it. You need to watch it. It's definitely, if you like what Matthew Vaughn's done before, then you have to watch this.
I'll do that.
Yeah, and that again is a recommendation from Joe, the founded Scarab. So thank you, Joe.
Right, so shall I say what I've been watching?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
So, well, the other day I was on Amazon Prime. I've been giving it more of a go, but since I've started watching The Boys, and wow, okay. So you're probably seeing the trailers everywhere, and to be quite frank, I don't know if the marketing is quite good. I mean, if you watch the full-on trailers, it does a good job, but if you watch the TV spots, I don't think it really portrays the show very well. But wow, this show is really cool, and it's based on The Boys comic books, and it's essentially a world where superheroes, they're used as marketing devices, and they generate money for a company called Vaughn. I'm pretty sure it's. Oh no! Let me check. Hold on.
Yeah, because I
don't wanna be wrong.
I don't know anything really about The Boys, other than there's a group of people who want to take down superheroes.
Yeah, corrupt superheroes.
Yeah. That's all I know about it, really.
Vought.
Vought.
Sorry, it's just because we were talking about Matthew Vaughn. Yeah, Vaught's the corporation, and yeah, these superheroes, they're used for like brand deals and to make money and stuff, and they've been put into national defense.
Right.
It's fantastic. And this show's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. It's incredibly violent, and it does a really good job though of being grounded at the same time, in the sense it's like Daredevil and what's the other one? It's like it's like the Marvel Netflix shows, in the sense that it really puts these characters into the real world. Well, this could be a real world, and
Right.
it's really good. So go and check that out. It's seriously good, but it's based on comic books. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I want to point out with the MCU, as much as they try and ground the MCU and try and say, oh, this is an organisation that works within, the Avengers is an organisation that works within the real world. Because of I suppose maybe the technology that Tony uses, and just some of the things that are present in it, like the helipad and stuff like that. It makes it somewhat too distant from our world.
And things like Thor, a character like Thor. If you have grounded characters
like Daredevil.
Yeah, and in this case, characters like Huey, characters like Starlight, it really does a good job of these are real people, and you've got to think this is like the event. This show. I don't think I'm spoiling anything here. It's like the Avengers, but if they were actually real people. And I'm not saying that the Avengers come off like they're not genuine or real, not at all. But they're not these people, they are flawed and they all have their own issues, and it's very clear, and each character's given that time.
Yeah, and though obviously Captain America, Tony, Thor, all of the main Avengers have their flaws as characters. They're not real world obvious flaws. They're more like PG flaws, like they disagree on topics and stuff. Whereas with the boys, I get the impression that they're much more real problems.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I don't spoil anything, so I won't continue on that further.
Yeah, I haven't watched it. You've sold it to me though. I would like to watch it basically as soon as we stop recording.
Brilliant. That's why I'm here. And the other, I watched a movie called Jumper, starring Hayden Christensen, and it's about a person who, at a young age, discovers that they can teleport, and it's not a great film. It's a really great concept. It's a fun film, but like there are terrible issues with pacing and some character motivations and a few other things. But if you just want to have a bit of fun and some cool ideas being presented, go check it out. And Hayden Christensen's a criminally underrated actor. He's really good.
He definitely gets a lot more hate than he deserves for his role in the prequels.
I think that one of the really great things in the last few years has been that people are speaking out and they're like, hey, Hayden Christensen's awesome, Like, there are loads of people wanting him back for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Yeah.
He's really good. And I'm glad that people are rallying behind him in the last few years.
It would be so cool to see, I don't know, maybe some flashbacks with the Obi-Wan, remembering training Anakin, or remembering them going on missions during the Clone Wars. That'd be so cool.
Or maybe in some sort of way it's a haunting thing. Maybe it plays around with Obi-Wan's head, and like he'll talk to Anakin or something. That would be really interesting.
Yeah.
There's so many options they could do, but I think it's really important that we have some Anakin in, live action Anakin in Disney Star Wars. I was quite upset that he was not even the only acknowledgement of him in the sequels. If you're not including Darth Vader, but specifically Anakin Skywalker, the only reference to him or inclusion would be when he's one of the people speaking to Rey in The Rise of Skywalker. That's it.
Yeah.
The chosen one. That's it.
But so crazy.
Yeah. Right. Do you want to move on to our main topic today?
Yeah, we do have a main topic today, and it is talking about Indiana Jones.
Dum da dum
Dum
dum.
da da dum. Da 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 dum. Da 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 da.
Yep. So there you go. Yeah, we are huge Indiana Jones fans.
Huge.
The hugest. The tremendousness.
Do you remember when you first watched Indiana Jones?
Oh,
Do you remember your first experience of it?
I think the first time I watched Indiana Jones, I think I was with you. I think it was when we were at our grandparents' house.
Yeah, I agree.
And we were watching Raiders of the Lost Ark on the big TV.
Yep.
That was the first film we were introduced to. So we watched it by chronological release. I believe actually, the CFC, you only found out that the Temple of Doom was a prequel a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that blew me away, quite honestly. But I can see that. But I just always thought the Temple of Doom took place afterwards. So thank you very much for enlightening me.
Well, I actually have a book that you brought me to thank. It was like I think it was a journal type thing that was released around the time that the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out, and it was a journal of Indiana. It was Indiana Jones's journal, right? And basically, the whole concept of the book was that the Soviets had seized his journal, so you have notes and stuff from the films and Easter eggs from the films. And it was only through that that I learnt the true chronological order of Indiana Jones, because, of course, the Temple of Doom came first, and I was confused. I was like, oh, why is it happening in this order?
I think you mean Raiders of the Lost Ark came first.
No, Temple of Doom. Temple of Doom came first.
In the book?
Yeah, in the book.
Okay,
in the book.
I got you.
Yeah.
I thought you meant release. Alright, got you.
No, yeah, Temple of Doom was first in the book, and I was like, oh, that's weird. But isn't it meant to be Raiders? And but no. So, for those of you who don't know, Temple of Doom comes first. That's the proper way to watch it.
Yeah, that absolutely blew me away. As I've said, it blew me away, but that's... Yeah, it absolutely makes sense. You know, one of the really good things, I mean, The Last Crusade, it does refer back to the two previous films, but you don't really need to have watched the other films to understand the stories, which is really good.
Yeah, they definitely work well as their own individual standalones. And I think a lot of the appeal for the Indiana Jones films comes from Harrison Ford himself, Indiana Jones, the character Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I agree. He does a really good job.
Yeah.
And he's made that role iconic.
Oh, for sure. There are few actors that would have I suppose the magnetism to be able to draw in an audience that would like them as much as Harrison Ford.
There was a TV series that focused on young Indiana Jones. I think it was called The Young Indy Chronicles or something. But I've never watched that, and I don't know if it's any good or not.
Yeah, me neither. I've not watched it either. I do know about it. I think there are a few episodes. I'm not sure how many, but they're certainly not as good as the main four films. But
maybe one day I'll check them out.
Yeah, could be a good fun watch. You know, just get drunk and have a drunk commentary on it. Could you imagine?
Oh, that would be interesting. Yeah. So, Indy 5. Indiana Jones 5. Well, it was confirmed by Disney back in 2016 that the sequel will happen, and it will be made at some point, probably. So, it was they said that they would have Harrison Ford in the lead role again, and Steven Spielberg would be directing, with George Lucas being the executive producer. But since then, there have been a few changes. The biggest one is that Spielberg has dropped out, and he's no longer directing the movie. So,
well, you know, Spielberg's always directed Indiana Jones up to this point.
So I wonder what his reasons for that are.
Well, I read that it was that there was a lack of a script, and no one could agree on a script for the film. There was a lot of creative differences there, and he didn't have a solid idea of where he wanted to take the series.
I think it's actually quite shocking that Kathleen Kennedy hasn't had a proper grasp of this situation with Indiana Jones. It's quite a recognisable IP. You would want to be milking it for money, surely.
Yeah, well, I mean that's Disney's favourite thing to do, isn't it? Milk.
I mean, at the end of the day, you want to make money. It's a business, and the way to do that is to show your audience that you have confidence in what you're making.
Yeah, it's been a mess, really. I think. Well, how long has it been announced that there was going to be an Indiana Jones 5?
Well, since 2016.
Well, oh, sorry, yeah, I misheard that. Okay.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
Yeah, you would think.
I think it was near the time of Rogue One's release.
Yeah, you'd think they would have sorted something out, because it was in 2011 that I think it was very much soon after Disney acquired Lucasfilm that they announced they were going to do another Star Wars trilogy. And so that's a 4-year gap between then and the release of The Force Awakens. So really, we should have let's assume that Disney had competently started getting all of the Indiana Jones stuff ready, and they had a script and they started filming and shooting. Then we should have had Indiana Jones by now, but they've not got their act together, have they?
And am I right in thinking that Paramount Studios, do they still own the film rights to the previous Indiana Jones films?
I'm not sure. I know they're certainly,
Because they're not on Disney Plus.
Well, yeah, that's the weird thing. I don't know. I'm always seeing them on British TV, the Indiana Jones films, particularly Last Crusade. So that kind of suggests that it's not being kept as exclusive as Disney would want it. Being solely on Disney Plus. So
for sure.
So that makes me think that Paramount still have some sort of legal control, but I'm not sure. I don't hold us on this. We don't know.
Okay. Well, the best news though, I think this is fantastic. The best news that's come out of it though, and the best change, is that James Mangold, the director of Logan, is set to be directing Indiana Jones 5 now. I don't know whether he'd be involved in script writing or not. I'm not quite sure. I presume so. He actually, I think he was awarded, he was nominated for best script. I think it's screenplay. I don't know exactly what it was, but he was nominated an Oscar for his work on Logan. I think that's the first comic book movie that's been nominated for anything. Don't hold me to it, because I am not entirely sure. Go fact check me. But I'm pretty sure that that's the case. And Logan is easily one of my favourite movies. So I think it's in great hands. I've also really enjoyed his. I really enjoyed Ford versus Ferrari, which he did. That had a load of Oscar nominations. That was really, really good. I think in Europe it was called Le Mans '66. Just really good movie.
Okay, I've now got the information on the ownership of Indiana Jones. So the Walt Disney Company owns Indiana Jones as an intellectual property. That's since obviously the acquisition of Lucasfilm.
Correct.
But Paramount Pictures, since 2013, retains the distribution rights to the first 4 films, and then for any future films, they'll receive some sort of financial participation. So they will be able to get some money out of anything that Disney makes, and that's the wording from Wikipedia. It says Paramount. So since 2013, with Paramount retaining the distribution rights to the first 4 films and receiving financial participation from any additional films. So Paramount still have their fingers in the pot, in that pie. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I wonder would Disney ever try and get those rights back? I mean, one of the
know.
fantastic things with 20th Century Fox's acquisition is that they managed to get the distribution rights back for Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope. That was huge.
Yeah.
And that was a huge cash cow, obviously. That was something. And I guess it also resulted in the change, another change to the Han and Greedo scene. We now are blessed with McClunky.
Oh, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. I don't really see what the point in the edition was. I just think that those poor original trilogy films have dealt with too many special editions or extras added on. We don't need any more. It'd be nice if you had the option that you could watch the original versions on Disney Plus as well as the supposedly most up to date versions.
Yeah, no, I get you there. Mind you, I do love myself some Jedi Rocks.
That's where you and I disagree. It seems like a pointless break.
It's such a great tune.
To me, it's a pointless break in the film, and the only thing really that it serves it to do is to show us a slave girl get eaten by the Rancor, and that it introduces the Rancor as a threat. That's literally it.
No, I think you like that music.
Okay.
I get your point, but I think it is a great tune.
Okay, what do you want from Indiana Jones 5? Do you want the Adventures of Retirement, or what do you want? I mean, Harrison's getting on. I mean, and people thought that in the fourth.
I think that, and I don't know whether this would be. I think that there are two franchises that really could thrive on this. I think take the Logan approach. I think go a bit different from the other four films and go for a more serious, or honor the legacy of Indiana Jones and have a Logan type film. It's more serious. It needs to be a story that makes sense for his age, and I think that it's something where he's not looking for the adventure finds him, and he's quite comfortable living his life as he is. And yeah, of course he's always loved adventure, but he wasn't looking for it this time. I want to see someone who we see that he's developed from where he was at the start. You can have some great callbacks. You can have those great moments where he puts the hat on. All of that, I think it needs to be something that honors the legacy, but also shows that he's moved on, and he's going to be a different type. It's going to be a different type of Indiana Jones movie.
Do you think they'd kill him off?
I don't think that would be the right. I don't think that would be quite the right way to go. I don't think that Logan's a 15. I'm not saying go full on Logan. With the style.
No, you don't need
that,
to.
That film's already been made. You don't need another one with a reskin. I think Indiana Jones is different, but I think it can still be more serious. And I think that it will have those great humorous moments that make the Indiana Jones films what they are. But I think it's also very nice to have a different director take the reins and give us a different flavour for a different type of Indiana Jones film.
Okay. So my question to you is, you said a film that's more serious. So you looking more at a direction towards Temple of Doom, because Temple of Doom is regarded as being the darkest of the Indiana Jones films, or do you not necessarily mean dark? Do you just mean more grounded?
I think more grounded. I want something more grounded. I know that Indiana Jones, a huge part of it is it's not in a way it's not grounded. You have to deal with the Ark of the Covenant, and it melts people at the end. It melts. You have what's the one in the second one? It's like the heart, isn't it?
So it's
Right.
they're rocks.
Oh, it's the rock.
They're three rocks. But one of the rocks has been stolen from a small
village.
Indian village. Yep, and it wields great power.
Yes. So the rock, and then in the third one you're dealing with the Cup of Christ.
Yeah, the Holy Grail.
The Holy Grail. So and then in the fourth one you have the Crystal Skull.
The fourth one.
The fourth one, and aliens.
Yeah, the Crystal Skull, by the way, is proved to be fake. It's not real. Yeah, whereas all of the others are grounded in history and have at least some sort of strong proof pointed at their existence. Whereas the Crystal Skull is very much fake and not a real thing.
I think you can still have that MacGuffin, if you like, in the film.
There has to be that. There's some key things that have to be in every single Indiana Jones film.
You have to, but it's I think around that you can still create a film that is more serious in tone. Just because you have something that's that's crazy like these MacGuffins in the film, you can still have a more serious film based around it.
I agree. I think that you've got to have someone younger that draws Indiana Jones in as well. I think that's really important.
I really liked Mutt in that. I think Mutt was one of the best things from Indiana Jones 4.
Oh, you like Mutt?
I think he does it. He plays a good role in the film. I think he does.
He's. I don't think there's a good film that actor's ever been in.
All right.
He's never been in a good film. He's just always been in a sort of okay film.
Well, I don't know if that's very.
I'm trying to remember his name. Is it Charlie? I could look it up.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Look
now.
it up.
I'm
Yeah.
doing it now. Talk while I'm looking.
Yeah.
What do you want from the film?
Well, I think
The movie.
Well, what I want is a film that has some finality to the Indiana Jones films. I feel that at this point, I'm totally up for there being a fifth film, and the job of the fifth film should be to correct the fourth. It should be, sorry guys, we obviously George and Stephen never wanted to create a bad film. That's obvious. They obviously didn't. Why would they want to create a bad film?
They wouldn't.
They wouldn't.
Exactly.
They wouldn't. They just obviously it's a different film from what the fans of the first three were used to. Obviously, that the inspiration for the first three were 1930s serials.
I thought I recognised him. No, he's in Transformers, and he actually does a pretty good job.
What's his name?
I think it's. I think it's pronounced Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, it's Shia LaBeouf. I think it's Shia LaBeouf. Or Shia LaBeouf, is it?
It's SHIA space capital A. I mean capital L, A capital B, E O.
Well, we've just checked, and it's actually Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah. So we did want to check. So it was like, all right, okay, let's pause it. Let's check. Shia LaBeouf it is.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I will give you this. I think he works very well with Harrison Ford. I think the chemistry between his character and Indiana Jones, so yeah, between Mutt and Indiana Jones is very evident. And they're really cool scenes. Like I think there's a scene in the it's the cafe, right? Or I don't know what you call them. Like the fast food place. And I think there's like a bottle of Coke or something, and
Like the American cantina.
yeah, the American yeah, and he steals a can of so he steals a bottle of Coke, and then Indiana Jones places it right back onto the tray when Mutt's not looking. Just funny stuff like that where it's subtle humour, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they work well, but I think they should have explored the relationship between Mutt and the what's the name of the doctor played by John Hurt.
Oh gosh, I have no clue.
He's such a annoying character. He's mad the whole time, and we don't really know what his relationship is with Indiana Jones at all. It's just like, oh, he's an old professor, and yeah, I knew him. And it's really annoying me because they repeat his name the whole damn time in the film. Oh, what is it?
It's not the.
It's not. I don't think it's the same guy as. It's not the same actor. So unless they replaced the actor, I'm assuming he's dead. I don't think it is.
He plays a character called. He plays a character called Harold Oxley.
Yeah, they always sing Oxley. It's not the same guy as the guy in the first film and the third film. That's Marcus.
That's Marcus.
Marcus Brody.
Marcus Brody.
Yeah. So yeah, different characters.
Yeah.
It's dumb. They should have if they were able to, they should have brought back Marcus Brody. I suspect the actor died before they could film, but that would have been a better thing. But instead, they just bring this useless professor because they. And another problem with this film, may I add, is that Indiana Jones has to do so much exposition for the plot.
Denham Elliott died on October 6th, 1992.
Yeah, so they couldn't have used him.
No.
Yeah. Indiana Jones has to do so much exposition. Like, their whole scenes with him in his house with Mutt, and they're looking at like Peruvian crop symbols and stuff like that, and it's just so annoying.
But I think though, I noticed in Lost Crusade there's quite a bit of exposition. I think a part of it is that they need to describe all of there are a lot of archaeological terms or things associated with the main items, the MacGuffins of the films, that they do that a lot. But I get your point.
The difference is with the previous films is Indiana Jones always has someone to bounce off of. So in The Last Crusade you have what's his name? The collector.
The collector.
The guy that's the big bad. It's the
Donovan.
Donovan, yeah, you have Donovan. He acts as he acts as someone else who can
And then,
give the
and then his dad,
exposition.
of course.
And then of course his dad, yeah. And with the Ark of the Covenant, you have the whole scene of their numerous professors, right, at the university with Indiana Jones, and they're talking about the Covenant before he goes off on obviously this mission to find it. So, but within this film, he's doing all of the exposition. People are asking him everything, and he just has to basically explain it to the audience.
Get you. Okay.
So that's the
I
issue.
understand you there. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you want? You're taking the reins of the fifth film. What do you want?
It's got to sum up the Indiana Jones films for me. I don't want to see a sixth film. I think that Harrison Ford is too old. I think that it's a miracle that he's even doing a fifth film, or arguably a disaster that he's doing a fifth film. You could look at it either way.
Well, we don't know until it's out, do we?
Yeah. It's got to sum up in the Indiana Jones saga. It's got to stay true to all. There's certain things that always have to feature in every single Indiana Jones film, and they've got to somehow do that in a way that's realistic given Indiana Jones' age. So you know how there's always like the big guy that Indiana Jones has to fight.
Yes.
Like, there's always the big guy. So in the first film, it's the big topless Nazi that's next to the plane, and it's the plane fight. Where,
Yes.
Yeah. The second film, it's the massive Indian henchman, right? And then in the third film, it's obviously
The Nazi leader.
yeah,
isn't it?
the captain. Whatever. I don't know what his title is.
The guy who says then, "This is how we say goodbye in Germany." You know, I sounded a bit.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh no, it's a punch.
Yeah.
Getting live effects, sound effects from the In Our View podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I like that. I
couldn't
completely
give
agree
you-
with you. I think that what's actually given me restored hope for the idea of a sequel, one more film, was Harrison Ford's performance in The Force Awakens as Han Solo.
Yeah.
He's a great actor. He can still act as Indiana Jones for sure. If he can act as Han Solo, who he's not so keen on playing,
Yeah.
he couldn't care less about Star Wars.
The money talks.
Yeah. But I think he genuinely loves Indiana Jones, and
Yeah.
he can still act as Indiana Jones. So I think that's given me some restored faith. He can do it. It's just he's got the energy. It's just whether his body's going to be up for everything, and if you're going to be able to take him seriously.
Yeah.
But I think that
Yeah.
you can write around it. You can have a different type of Indiana Jones film and still do it.
Yeah.
Well, I think that sums it up, really. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. If you've enjoyed this podcast, make sure to like the video and subscribe to both of our channels. And we'll see you in the next one. This has been the In Our View podcast.